Okay, so next up is Lisa Morrison. So Lisa is a post-primary teacher and admin of the hugely popular NI Teachers Collaborate group on Facebook and Twitter. Lisa is going to look back at how their group grew during the past 18 months and how it can continue to support teachers in the years ahead as schools return to what is a new normal. So Lisa, are you there?
I'm here, David.
That's great. I'll hand over to you then.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Firstly, David, thank you very much for inviting us back again this year. Cannot believe that it's been a year since I was sat here talking to you. I also want to say thank you to Peter and John in the background. I know they do a lot of work on these events, and a thank you to the BBC for organising such an event for Northern Irish teachers. It's been a really insightful week. I've been lucky to be able to listen in to other people speaking. Just for those who don't know, Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate is a Facebook group with a Twitter feed. I'm just going to share my screen with you now, so give me 1 wee second. We were joking before we started that can you believe that we were actually teaching children on these? So Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate is a Facebook group primarily, but we do also have a Twitter feed, a website and a YouTube channel. The group was set up in July 2020. After the first period of remote teaching, I would say my lessons were described, I would say, as a bit ropey. And I realised that the new academic year could probably bring periods of remote learning again. So I panicked a little and I thought, how am I going to upskill and get myself ready for this period of remote teaching? As Tony Breslin, who's going to speak later, said in his book, schools didn't close. We became virtual institutions overnight, and we all needed to upskill very quickly. I shared a Facebook page on the 11th of July in 2020 with about 40 friends that I knew from across Northern Ireland from work that I'd done through SEA. The group snowballed, and we're currently sitting at around 15,000 folk on that Facebook group. The work that has been done on the group is phenomenal. Every teacher who is on there has contributed in some way, but I have a few people that I just like to say a special thank you to. Carol, Glenn, John, Jamie and Karen are the other 5 people who carry out the administration of the Facebook group, and they've done a lot over the past 15 months behind the scenes to keep the group going. Between us, we have about 100 years teaching experience with roles in pastoral care, departmental management, shared education, but we've also all worked in other sectors, hospitality, we've worked in business, local and global business, we've worked in the health and social care sector, and we've worked with examining boards both here and in Northern Ireland. This image I found really interesting. Somebody shared this on our Facebook group during the first lockdown, and it's reportedly an image that was taken in the 1930s during a polio outbreak. And I think it's a lovely picture because it shows the family at the time standing around what was then probably the best technology available to them. Thank God during this pandemic, we have access to better technology than a radio, but I think it's also important, and it's lovely to hear other people talk about the fact that this wasn't an equitable situation for all children across Northern Ireland, and not every child across Northern Ireland has had the same education in the past 18 months. And it's lovely to hear in the Minister's address that this is something that her department is going to look at very quickly. The other thing then was that not all teachers and not all schools have access to the same resources. And I think this is where Northern Ireland Teachers has really benefited our education system here in Northern Ireland. There was a Facebook group or a Facebook post shared during lockdown that said, we're all in the same storm, but not in the same boat. Well, teachers were all in the same storm, but we weren't in the same boat, and we weren't even on the same app. So we had a lot to learn. And throughout the first period of remote teaching and learning, we had a lot of teachers join the group, and they would share lots of ideas, resources, they ask each other questions, they share opportunities for CPD. One of the teachers in school describes our Facebook group to me as a big staff room, and I love that analogy because during this period where we're all having to social distance, we're not in our staff room and we're losing out from learning from our colleagues. I'm 21 years a teacher, and I've learned as much in the staff room from other teachers as I have at any of the CPD opportunities that I've had. We never anticipated how many networks would have come out of our initial group being created. And the researchers at Stranmillis University who are supporting us on the group discuss this type of teacher helping each other out, or teacher learning as a social pedagogy. The ethos of our group is about collaboration, working together, and learning from our experiences. Our teacher professional development is social, it's experiential, and we're all in this together. After the period, or during the period of remote learning, we certainly had a lot of posts about technology. But I think it's important to say that the sharing in the group has not just been about technology. Anyone can go on to that group and ask a question or ask for support, and their colleagues will be answering them within minutes. The other day we had a post, somebody had lost their pen for their interactive whiteboard, and they asked did anyone have a spare, and I think she had about an offer of about 10 or 15 spare pens by the end of the evening. So it's been really useful for teachers for lots of different things, not just technology. The group's just going from strength to strength. We're sitting at an average of about 10 posts today. And honestly, it is incredible what every member of that group has contributed over the last 15 months. The amount of interaction is incredible. We also then, I want to draw attention to the fact that when I created the Facebook group, lots of other folk then realised that their news feeds were going to be blocked up with Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate. Maybe they didn't want to know everything from every sector. So what they did was they went off and set up subject-specific groups. This slide shows you a few of the subject-specific groups that were created. And these were a really good resource during the centre assessed grades. There are so many different sectors covered there. We've got pastoral care groups, we've got classroom assistance groups, we've got subject-specific groups, even SIMS coordinators. It's just phenomenal the work that people have put into building collaborative sites over the last year. It allows your specialism then to discuss in more detail the intricacies of what you need to know, and maybe the Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate group is more of a general page for information for all teachers. These groups were a great support during remote learning, but they have also been a great support since returning to school. We've had so many updates over this past while, and it's great to just be able to go on and ask somebody else what they think about something in your subject or how you're going to manage it. We were also very fortunate whenever we set up Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate that I attended a webinar one day and cheekily asked Celia O'Hagan from Stranmillis University College if she would come into the group and have a look at what we were trying to achieve. And she did do that. Celia is a senior lecturer in teacher education and professional learning. And I thought perhaps tonight it would be apt for her to listen just for a couple of minutes about what Celia says about the group.
Hello, I've been asked to give a reflection on the value, the power, and indeed the entitlement of networking for teacher professional learning on the Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate. My name is Celia O'Hagan from Stranmillis University College, and I'm delighted to be part of the network and indeed to offer advice on continued professional development, but also on some of the good practice, scholarship and research that we can avail of and bring to this teacher professional learning environment. When I was asked recently, what is Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate at a conference, I spoke at length about the power of communities of practice. And so that's what I see Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate as, a community of practitioners. It has been led by hard people, people who were amidst a crisis during the blended learning experience through the lens of the pandemic. And of course, Lisa, Karen and other colleagues who got involved so quickly in reaching out to their co-professionals. And reaching out to co-professionals is what often starts teacher professional learning. And teacher professional learning grows and gathers momentum. But what we have at the core of the Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate is heart people, people who want to make a difference. And of course, that sharing and exploration requires that ethos and culture. So I see it as very much an enriching environment. I see it as the way forward for the future. And I certainly am very excited about being part of that collaboration and that network now and in the future, and feel very strongly that teacher educators like myself in the sector, and researchers, stakeholders, even co-professionals should get more involved as time goes on. So I just want to thank Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate for the opportunity to share my experience and to wish them well on their onward journey. Thank you.
Honestly, we've been so lucky to have Celia and Stromulus support us through this group, because I'm not sure that we would have managed the last 15 months if we hadn't have had the advice and guidance that she's given us. In the future, Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate, we're hoping to continue to build upon strong networks that we've already established. We're hoping that we will improve the collaboration that has gone on to date, and we want to empower teachers to take control of their own teacher professional learning and to see the value in this type of social pedagogy. Our mission for the future is to recognise the learning leadership that has been brought about, strengthen the opportunities that that can bring. We want to continue to promote the teacher's voice and engage all teachers in their own professional learning. And we want to build support for continuous collaborations and projects and sharing. And we are looking at ways of doing that. And we have some exciting news to bring to the group quite soon, but I shan't share that with you tonight. I just want to again say thank you very much to David, Peter, John, and all at the BBC for giving us an opportunity to explain what Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate is about. Thank you.
Lisa, thank you very much. We've had some lovely comments about NI Teachers Collaborate. Just one from Jamie says, I just want to say that NI Teachers Collaborate is invaluable. Never before have so many resources been shared and available to teachers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got plenty of fans out there.